Hi everyone. Um, yeah, my name is Amanda Makhubele. I graduated next door. You know, next door was where they were. But it is an honor to. I used the blue color. You see? Okay, cool. So yeah, as Dima has already mentioned, let me just see, where do I go on my next year? This thing. Okay, cool. So again, got a civil engineering degree, project management GP. Currently maintenance manager Transnet, and just to break it down a little bit, you know, the trains, when they start moving, I need to ensure that they don't fall, because when a train falls, that's millions. Honestly, just the local in itself, a local is the leading head of the entire community. So we already have a shortage. I'm sure you've seen that Transnet is already on the news and so forth. So I need to ensure that the track is safe, so that the train doesn't derail. We call it a derailment. We don't call it a car accident, right? So now I don't want to share too much pictures with whatever. We really just want to focus on the message. But just to give people an idea about what track maintenance is about, you see how on the road you get potholes? We actually get that on the track as well. We call them mud holes because it's the ballast, which is the stones mixed up when they become fine after heating against one another. Then they call what we call a mud hole, right? So whatever you find on the road, you also find it on the track. Since that on the track, it's much more expensive. We don't just get car accidents, we get derailments. Okay, Secretary General of National Society of Black Engineers. This one is very close to my heart because it's really a non-racial and a non-profit organization. As Dima has already mentioned, it focuses on people that come from a disadvantaged background. Started off in 1998 when one of the pioneers of KZN came through from the UK or US after graduating, and he said that in the deep rural of KZN, it's got so many disadvantaged Black kids. They do study maths and science, but they don't know that there's something called engineering. So now they started this thing called National Society of Black Engineers, and we've got branches all over South Africa. So if you know anybody who's disadvantaged, would like to study engineering, we do provide mentorship, right? I'm a Bloom's owner. Yes, I'm an engineer, but at the same time, I acknowledge that I'm a girl. And as a girl, I love my flowers. So I love arranging my flowers. I own that up. I'm also an events program director because I like MC, right? Now, the reason I'm telling you all of this, it's according to the quote that she says, that you need to embrace yourself because there can never be another you. You are the only Amanda. So you need to give it out to the world. So if they were to ask me, who is Amanda? Currently, I'd say Amanda is a girl that loves flowers, who's also an MC and also an engineer. That's my definition of who Amanda is. Okay, now, thank you for the opportunity of coming to speak through about mentorship. I think majority of this information, you might have it, but I think you guys love to be told certain things. It's fine, we'll walk through this thing. Mentorship, why it's important. Personally, I believe that's where you share new knowledge. As a mentor to a mentee, you need to share new valuable information to your mentee, right? You get expanded networks. Remember the NSBE that I spoke to you about? Currently, as the general secretary, I get exposed to people that are even high level value because of the mentorship. In fact, me being in NSB is because my mentor was part of NSB. So when the opportunities came about, he said, Amanda, don't you want to be the Gauteng deputy chairperson? Then from the deputy chairperson for Gauteng, now it became a national thing. So that's why you also need mentors. They expand your level of networking, okay? They support, they encourage your career growth because they've been where you are. They've been a trainee, so they also want to impart whatever knowledge that you do have. So they'll encourage you and support you throughout the journey. They normally have useful feedback. I don't know about you, but with your maths teacher or science teacher in high school, everybody hated it, right? Everybody hated it, but that's because it's your peer. That's your view. But once you get a mentor, it's someone that will give you feedback and be honest with you because they've got nothing to lose anyway. So that's why you need to get feedback from a mentor. Again, professional and personal growth. Because as you are sharing more of your professional growth, there's no way when you start talking about personal things, at some point you're gonna reach common ground. So that's why mentorship is very much important. I was told that the questions are going to be at the end. So is it fine if I continue? Awesome, next. Now, requirements from a mentee. Right, I've got questions. It's an introspection, self-introspection. What is your goal for getting a mentor? Before you even ask someone, why do you believe that you need a mentor? What is it? So from my side, the requirements from a mentee, now that you would have decided that I'm going to get so and so as a mentor, what you need to do is to identify and find a right mentor. And you guys are in your master's level, isn't it? Majority of you guys, undergrad, postgrad? Okay, undergrad and postgrad. Okay, cool. So now identifying and finding the right mentor. Let's take it from a undergrad side. There's this lady. She's been repeating this course for 3 years. This module for 3 years. No offense to her, but do you want to take her up as a mentor? No, you can't, because clearly somewhere there's a gap, isn't it? You get into the corporate workspace. Now there's this person who's been occupying for the past 10 years. They've just been a technician. They've just been an engineer. No senior engineer, senior manager. It's just, and then when you get there, like, no, because she feels like my mother, I feel more comfortable with her. Which the other people, when they speak their English intimidate me. So let me just sit next to this one. You know how many times you're gonna keep on repeating what we call in the engineering space, we call it an engineering development program. So every 6 months they review you. I don't know about your space in the geology side, but they review you to see this how much you've grown and how much input are you taking or putting into the company, you know. So if you get a mentor who's terrible, you're probably gonna repeat a 6 months review 3 times to the point where the company is also going to say, but hey, we're not sure about you. So please ensure that you identify and find the right mentor, because that is your responsibility, not our responsibility, isn't it? Okay, reaching out and scheduling meetings. I'll keep on now starting to speak about my mentor. When I had my mentor when I was doing my engineering development program, he was 3 positions above me. So do you think in his mind he's really thinking about Amanda there, our trainee, potential? He's got a lot of stress. He's got trains to run from Joburg all the way to Durban, not even just to Glencoe, which is Ladysmith. He's got a lot of work on his workload. So it was for me to initiate, to schedule, run after his PA. And trust me, some of the times, especially as they go high up the ranks, the ladies or the PAs, they always feel like they're their second wives. They close the door on you can't even get him on the phone. I don't know how it happens, but these people just feel so entitled. So ensure that you are reaching out to that person and you are scheduling meetings. Set SMART goals before going into that mentorship meeting. You need to have your own goal. It can't be that you're going to a mentorship meeting. What is it that you want to achieve? Is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it achievable? You guys know what SMART stands for, isn't it? So you need to ensure that as a mentee, before you even get to that mentor, you've got SMART goals, so that when you're speaking, they know where to start off from. Be open and clear in terms of your communication and expectation. Do you want monthly meetings? Because maybe in your workspace, you might need to have bi-monthly meetings every 2 weeks, but this person is only available every month, you know, once a month. Now you're so angry at them that they're only available once a month. Is it them who's wrong? Or was it you who never actually set out your expectations? Now, another example about being open and clear about your communication would be that you want to go through the technical side of the company, but there's the operation side of the company. And then you don't say, and now this person keeps on pushing you towards the operation side, but you want to be more technical. Is it them who's wrong, or you never spoke out? So you really need to be clear about what it is that you want, what you're expecting out of this mentorship, and you need to be bold about that. Positive attitude and show commitment. I am glad I see a couple of people. I didn't do my vibe check. because I wouldn't say you guys are intimidating me. It's just that you're so serious. It's like you're hungry, but I heard that they wake up for life, so I'm confused. But at least I'm getting a couple of smiles, right? But positive attitude and showing commitment. There's nothing like, everybody's going through something. You've seen the statement that says, be kind. People are going through something. You're coming there, you're demotivated to the next level. You're also gonna, like me as a mentor, be like, hey, that child, I need to drink 3 Cokes and a Red Bull and some chocolate yana before I meet them because they're just always so depressed. So self-motivation also comes through from you, and you need to show commitment. So commitment comes through your consistency, but we'll speak later on about that. And be curious and ask questions. It's not just about them giving you information. You're like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Bible, any question is good enough to even ask. You're never done to actually just ask a question. Ask the question. And for them, it's actually much more, they feel like you are engaged with them the more you actually ask questions. So no question is ever done. But being at your age, they also never had questions to ask when they're in front of someone whom they call a mentor. So they understand where you're coming from. Respect and gratitude. I don't know about you, but have you seen when you go to specific schools these days? I'll give an example, say Cure, and then when you enter through the gate, and then the kid goes like, "Hi there, how are you, man? Let me go this way." You're so shocked and like, "Oh, wow, people, this one is so respectful." You know why we're so shocked? It's because it's not common. People are so entitled. Like you're so entitled to my time. Like right. Actually supposed to be at work, and I am at work, I do believe. But this is my, I could have said no. But then, as a person who's now being a mentee, you need to show your mentor that I am respectful and I'm grateful for the time that you are making out just so that, because it can be that family time. It can be that time of going to their kids' practice at cricket or soccer. So do show them that you are grateful. So ask yourself, what is your goal for getting a mentor? And then now requirements from a mentor, right? And I've got a question for those that want to be mentors and are already mentors. And I derived it from the book from Simon, which says Start with Why. With Dima, I met her at Women in Leadership in one of the conferences. That's how she decided, no, I'm going to be here. Thank you so much, Dima, for that. And thank you, Stephanie. I always give a book whenever I'm doing my talks because we've got so much information on our phone that we never know exactly where to go. So sometimes when a person just give you a nudge and say, go this direction, at least it helps you to filter out everything, right? So for one day, when you do become a mentor, ask yourself, why do you want to become a mentor? Why? Why is it important for you to become a mentor? Or even your mentor, why are you my mentor? Why did you? It's a valid question. Because now maybe they agreed for the stats for 15 mentees under this. You know, actually within this company, but you does the number to them. But you want a mentor like that. So if they're really being honest and open to you, they'll be able to answer to you why they chose to be your mentor. So Simon Sinek, whatever you want to say, Sinek says, when you start with your why, everything becomes easier to execute, right? So when you see the why, it's in the inner of everything, isn't it? Why do I want to be a mentor? It's your purpose. I want to be a mentor because of da 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 da. This is the reason, that's your cause, and this is what you believe in, that's your why. Then you move out. How are you going to be doing it? Because as much as mentees have a responsibility, but sometimes you do get people that come to you as a mentee and they just don't have structure. But if you formulate some form of skeleton for them, they'll actually start having a form and a structure. And then you start saying that, wow, I can actually get more out of my mentee when I actually show them what's the direction. So as a mentor, I believe you also need to be strategic as to how you might need to ensure that this mentorship is also successful, right? And then we've got the last one, which is what. And it says the consistency of what. What is it that you need to do within this mentorship to ensure that it becomes successful. So mentorship, when you choose to become a mentor, ensure that you also respect, because you can't give up what you don't already know. Okay, so now let's go to the next slide. Please tell me if I go over time, Netima. Okay, how to be a great mentor or a great mentee. So in some of my research, I found that they say under promise and over deliver. Right? This is how I put it within my mentorship. Now, I already mentioned that it was 3 positions above me. I already understood his scale of work, his magnitude is just too much. I used to be proactive. I get into a review, they ask you questions, they pass you to your next month, maybe you're moving from 6 months to 12 months, 12 months to 18 months. I take my own notes within that very same meeting, knowing that within 6 weeks, I'm going to send me a report that will speak into the notes that I'm making within the review meeting. And I note them down, right? When I come out of that meeting, I make friends with everybody that was a panel within the review. Like I call them, I say, I do not understand your question when you say 1, 2, 3. Mind you, I actually answered it perfectly, hence it passed, but I want to comprehension. This is maybe important. Now for the gaps that they're giving me, by the time the report comes through, I do set up the meeting. However, I also send a report to my mentor to say, this is what I've done. And because I need him as a mentor, right? This is where I need your assistance. Do you get it? So it's not necessarily under promise and over deliver. They're being your age. They know when you're under promising. Some of the times under promising makes it look like you're like, are you really competent? Do you really have a master's? Are you sure you really went to bed? You understand? So you need to put your things in such a way that it shows your proactiveness. And we understand being proactive, what it means, right? Yeah, I don't want to speak English terms and stuff. Okay, so mind your mentors and all your mentees time. This thing of counseling, sometimes maybe you've got 2 exams and you thought you'd be able to really, fit him in or her as your mentor. And if you look at us, you're like, this is me passing, failing, I can't do this. So this is what I say, you build the foundation. If you're going to be consistent within the next 3 meetings that you schedule and they give you time, trust me, if the 4th meeting you say that, ma'am, I know I'm the one that set it up. Trust me, they'll say, no, it's fine. Because they've seen your commitment. They've seen that you really wanted to do this. You've shown that you are really here. You want this in the future, but it's just that maybe it was really out. And they might actually just say that, when are you available? Or just send them the information. I'll go through and I'll still give you feedback for when you're ready to move. So that commitment shows from how you interact within your first few meetings, isn't it? So respect the other person's time. If you're going to set it up for 1 hour, let it be 1 hour. They will become much more easier with you and to say that I will now extend to 1 hour, 30 minutes, educate you to one another. Be engaged and energizing. When you go to that mentorship, you're not going to a show where someone actually just performs to you. Please make sure that you're also engaged within that meeting. Now, what not to do? I've already spoken about bad vibes, always being down and depressed and me not wanting to drink snacks or rather drinking, Coke and stuff, people coming to see you. So please don't get there and complain. We all have problems, don't we? I mean, if we're going to sit down, like, how was your day? Yo, let me tell you. Yo, you don't want to know. Trust me. I've been there, I've done that, I know. But figure out a way. Not preparing for meetings, you just get there and you want to be spoon-fed. Expecting to be spoon-fed. No, it's not cute. It's really not cute. So when you get there, show that you are serious about your life. When you're serious, the thing about mentorship, it's a 2-way street. When I see you, I become inspired about the younger person that I once was, and I get my energy back. Whereas you're looking at me and saying, this is an inspiration. But I will not be inspired by a kid who is just, oh, I was not like this. You understand? So you really need to bring your A game as well. Taking initiative and curiosity, you need to be curious. Curious just means what's happening in the world. Currently, we're load shedding. You guys notice? Sorry, they call it power cut. Did you guys notice? Exactly. So stay informed because let me put it like this. When you bring teenagers into the room, you need to tone down to teenagers. And then this person is very much exposed to much more managerial or whatever things of life. So you still want to at least be relevant to some extent as to what's happening within the world. Because it just shows how much you interact with your own life, but also your surroundings. Yeah, so people judge you in various aspects. I believe there's more to the no-go zone area, what not to do, but I think those are just my most basics to ensure that your mentorship comes through. Now, Dima asked me the question, how do we keep the communication going? I don't know, but guys, you're in relationships most. Or masters is really that I will not judge. I can listen. We don't judge. Okay, thank you. So now, let's say we're doing for mother. Oh, father. Okay, very mother. I think you guys did some phone calls. You don't? You text them, right? So I think set the clear expectations. You want to meet them monthly. They'll also be able to tell you, am I meeting on my phone or not? There's a certain mentor of mine. If you call him, he's not available at 8. I don't even call him again. That's how good our relationship is now. He'll come back to me around 6:30. I know for a fact he's gonna come back. I don't even have anxiety. You guys know what anxiety is. You should know anxiety. Like the whole around TikTok, anxious attachment, avoidance attachment. You guys know that? Yes. I don't go through anxiety when it comes to. So we set clear boundaries, set clear expectations as to I can answer a call at this time. I'm married. Now my wife is gonna be one. I have a man calling me at that age. You know, all those boundaries. So set clear expectations. Communicate regularly and effectively. You set the boundaries as to I want it weekly, I want it monthly, I want it bi-weekly. This works for me according to the goals that I'd like to achieve. Respect the person's time. Don't be texting me at 10. You're gonna get me stressed, worried. What texting me at 10? What is happening throughout the other time of the day? This is very important or not, you know? Open and honest dialogues. So yeah, there's a story I'm going to share at the end about my personal walk. But the more you become honest and open, it's you start building a sisterhood, you know, a siblingship kind of relationship beyond mentorship, right? So that's the point where you want to get to. Use effective communication tools. You can't be sending me emails now, and then I don't open up my email. What's the point? So let's have a clear place where what is it that's effective for you, and what time is it effective for you. Follow up and give feedback on previously assigned tasks. You don't always have to wait for the next meeting. Be that A-game child. Just send the things through and be like, wow. And then they feel guilty within the next moment. I saw that email, but I forgot to go through it. Take me through it. Don't you feel proud? Like you sent them ahead. They didn't have time, but you've done your part, man. You did 100% and they're working on it. Eventually they'll pass, you know, and show gratitude. There's nothing as simple as a gift and a thank you. Just that. It takes you a long way. It's just humility and it's just Ubuntu, man. I don't know how to put it further than that. It's just Ubuntu. It makes people want to keep on doing more for you. They enjoy wanting to do more for you. Right? And this slides, I added them last night. It's regarding sponsorship, right? You guys know sponsorship? You know of sponsorship, right? So basically, it's someone who's much more senior or influential within the company that advocates for and supports the career advancement of another employee, right? And the role of sponsorship is advocacy, influence, career advancement, and beyond mentorship. I thought this is very important to share with you guys. Why? Because a mentor can also become a sponsor. Now, with my mentor, who later became my sponsor within both the workplace and my personal growth, is that within my workplace, I finished my EIT, which is engineering training, and I shifted from one depot to the next. And then when I completed this engineering development program, I think within our own, talks or whatever it is, then I was now ready for my maintenance. He believed me, obviously because of how the mentorship worked. Then that's how I became a maintenance manager, right? So sponsorship really does work. Get a mentor. Remember that 10-year, that person who has been a technician for 10 years, how are they going to advocate for you? What powers do they have? So ensure that when you get the mentor, ensure that it's someone who's also influential and it's someone that you admire. It will lead to your career growth to go much more faster. Not everything takes 20 years, guys. We've got a generation in which people catch things much more faster. And you guys are much more vibrant, and you're much more versatile than the previous generation. So they want, but you need someone that will be able to speak in a boardroom while you are not there, believing in the things that you're capable of doing, right? You've got increased visibility because now where your peers are not going into that meeting, your mentor or your sponsor says, come carry my bags, come sit right next to me. And then your peers are like, what's so special about Amanda? There's nothing special. She just got herself a good mentor, right? You'll sit into boardrooms. You'll be exposed at an earlier time as compared to your peers. So access to high visibility projects. Now, because you already have visibility, it only makes sense. I mean, we're already in the boardroom. So they're gonna ask, Amanda, what are you? I'm a maintenance manager. Don't you think you'll head up this project? So certain decisions will be made within the boardroom even before we come out. By the time they come out, there's only 5 positions. But within this boardroom, 20 people already allocated what role they are going to be doing within those projects. So please ensure that you get a mentor. Please ensure that you do get a good sponsor as well. I think we're at the end. Okay, it's just me explaining my personal experience. I've had 2 mentees. The first ever mentee was one in high school. She was 16. I don't know why she pushed me to be her mentor, but the story is that today she's a designer in the IT industry, but she graduated in the biomedical sciences. 3 belts later. So all the way from high school going to university, kudos to her, but it really helped us doing those phone calls, meeting up whenever she came through from bus and so forth. Now, the work-related one, it was difficult with her, and she was a birdie. We listen, we don't judge. With her, it was difficult because she came through as a trainee. You guys get opportunities as vacation work within your company, right? I did not understand it because I think I didn't say anything. I don't say anything. But anyway, it was difficult. She was just low-key, not interested in everything. They might think she's going to when she gets into the workplace. They're like, oh, I found you a great mentee. They say their name, and I'm like, it rings a bell, but I can't see the face. Oh, they are so that it's for yo. So it was so bad that I told them I needed to tell her that if you don't bring your A into the salt, you're really going to fail. Take up the engineering development very serious. So in how you show up within your vacation work as well, it speaks volumes. She hadn't even been signed up as a permanent student, but I was already afraid of her. Please don't make your mentors to be afraid of you. That they are nightmares that tomorrow I'm meeting up with Amanda. Please don't do that. But the good news is that we grew because I believe that she came into my life so that I can grow as well. She grew. And I'll be much more personal now because I did say be open, be honest. When she was pregnant, she came to me pregnant. And I was just like, I had to again bring out some other cars that nothing to do with the engineering development. It wasn't really hectic because now we built that relationship. So yes, sometimes you can come off slow in the beginning, but maybe you end up within the right mentor and they will guide you and shape you up. give you structure so that you come up with it, right? I had two mentors, one at work, one at church. We listen, we don't judge. I don't understand what was the point of the church one. I really don't, because I would come to her as a proactive person, and she would just listen to me, but she wouldn't give me anything. And the reason I'm sharing this is because it's possible that it's possible to have a bad mentor and sometimes be the one to walk away and say, it's not working. It's not you, it's me. I'm the problem. You know, so it was the church one. And then the work one, I've already emphasized on it. Waiting as person who did not see anything, handshake the guy. 2 years engineering development projects. I started getting big projects and got into the maintenance manager position and the NSVP also growing, and there's still even further growth from that. And this is just me within NSVE and now, and I believe it all started off with just the right mentor, right? So that is my story. I think this is the last slide. Yes, so thank you very much. And I'm hoping there's no Q&A.